And now it's Boomer Life.
Lifestyle ideas designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete.
Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is Boomer Life.
Welcome back to the program. On the program today, we're talking appliances with Vancouver's appliance guru, Jack McIver of McIver's Appliances down there in South Vancouver at 610 Southeast Marine Drive. And Jack, a veteran now of 50 years in the appliance business in Vancouver. We've been talking about how a person in this commercial enterprise manages to last this long and this successfully. And it's all about respect for the customers, respect for the people who work for you as well, and a real determination, Jack, to sell only quality products. You've passed on selling a lot of appliances to a lot of people because you just didn't have any faith in the product.
Yes, that's true. And it, as you said before, it's not easy to pass on easy money.
Sure.
But if you know what the backlash of that is, when they start to fail, then if you have a repair business, they come back and say, repair it, or give me another one, or whatever. Now, if you are a company that operates now, all the companies in BC operate without service departments, then they're not on the hook. So they can get away with a lot more than I can. So that's another reason why I don't do that.
Take this back. Help us just to understand something. This is a good opportunity to just get us up to speed on what the heck happened. We talked about the free trade agreement. So we're flashing back here, friends, to the 1980s, and Brian Mulroney, as the Prime Minister of Canada, or wannabe Prime Minister of Canada, pitches free trade with the North American deal, the NAFTA. And in that deal was wording, according to Jack, that basically stripped out the Canadian Standards Association supervision or approval of imported appliances. Now, did that apply to other categories of manufactured goods in addition to appliances, Jack?
Of course.
Okay.
It was basically to set the stage for this. You had to have virtually no manufacturing in Canada. So there was some financial tricks done in the United States regarding inflation in the 80s.
Which was pretty high, as I recall.
Yeah, well, it's only a number. Now, whatever happened, here's what happened to me. I'm running my business and I'm going along, and I've got about 8 or 9% of money financed by a bank for accounts receivable and inventory. And it's over $1 million. And everything is clicking along really good. And then all of a sudden, they're talking about this inflation, and everything's going up, and they've got to fight inflation by getting the interest rate raised. And I thought, why? What's wrong? We don't seem to have anything wrong here. But in the United States, they did.
Right.
Because it was the yin of their yang. This last disaster in 2007 was another yin of their yang.
Right.
So we've had that one, and then we had another one, too, of the Americans jacking around with monetary plans. So what that when it got to 21% interest, it basically froze up the economy, because all the Canadian manufacturers across Canada had warehouses, distribution, and inventory finance that they're making. They all went broke because of that American
financial crisis.
It was a manufacturing crisis.
That's a lot of them are, yeah.
Yeah, it's manufacturing crisis. What that did, that set the stage for Whirlpool Corporation to take over all of the companies that had amalgamated for protection. They got together. For instance, Speed Queen went together with Admiral, and the company that owned Admiral in the United States got their money out by putting these people all together and getting a big bank loan and then the American thing, then the interest rate goes up. So we lose all our manufacturers except a company called Woods, who was making freezers and fridges, and General Electric, which was the only other company that survived. We lost our gas stove manufacturer. We lost other freezer manufacturers. We lost Admiral.
When these companies went broke in Canada, Jack, were they snapped up by American larger corporations, or did they just go out of business?
What happened was Whirlpool came in and bought all those amalgamated companies.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Got the names, but never opened the factories. And that's when the appliance business became Whirlpool's they became a monopoly.
And all of this, through all of this process of acquiring and mergers and acquisitions and so on, in the meantime, the deal has gone through, and all of a sudden the standards governing Canadian manufacturing disappear.
Where the key was that Rockwell International owned Admiral, and Rockwell International orchestrated these people to get these companies all together so they could get their money out.
Okay.
And when they got their money out, the money went in on bank loans, but the 21% interest no one could stand.
Sure.
So they folded under, basically it was all done by manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm standing back. Now, most people don't realize what I know and how intelligent I am about business and what people are doing and how they're doing. All I know is if you have money and you deal with a big company, they're going to figure out how they can get it from you.
From you,
yes,
right.
One way or the other. And I found that GE had turned that way at that time when I was dealing with them.
And what happened to the standards? At the same time, the government basically negotiated standardization out of the deal.
Because this wipeout took place,
yeah,
right? All your companies are gone. The Americans came along and said, well, we don't need these standards anymore because you don't have any companies that are making appliances with these standards. We don't like these standards. So they gave the standards to those companies.
Ah.
They became the overseers of the CSA in that part.
I was just going to say, because, if you go into a department store anywhere that sells appliances and you look on the back of some of these units, they've still got stickers on them that say they've got some kind of standards and this and that and the other thing. So the consumer, unaware of the difference between the standards of the 80s and the standards of 2014, is going to go, oh, well, there's the sticker. So
Sterling,
obviously it's still top quality.
Sterling, the stoves don't have any fuses in them. The wall ovens don't have any, low rated fuses that can protect the components and everything. Now when a wall oven has a short on a circuit board, it just lights up and fire inside and it burns every wire out of the whole thing, and it's a total write-off.
Again, a manufacturing you could say
it's
defect.
Got 40 amps. It's got 40 amps going to it, not 15 amps or 20 amps fuse,
Right. So again, this is I appreciate the time you're taking to help us with this, because again, if you're going out to buy some new appliances, whether it's a whole house worth or just a new washer dryer pair or a fridge or a stove, you're still gonna drop a lot of money. And a lot of us, we look for what we think are the right things. But in many cases, we don't know the good questions to ask. So, an informed consumer generally makes better choices and gets better value for their money, don't they?
I don't think so, honestly, because there's not enough products out there of value.
Okay.
But that, again, like I said about the building, when the builder goes shopping for you, don't think that there's going to be any value there when you buy your condo, because they're not interested in value.
They're interested in selling you a condo.
They builders make money off everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's their job, and they do a really good job of it. And they've got everything rigged now in such a way that people end up with situations. Nobody has any responsibility once their building is sold.
Well, let's talk about some of the other ways that the appliance business gets conducted these days in a market like British Columbia. For example, when you sell someone an appliance, whether it's a dishwasher, Jack, or a fridge or whatever, when that person comes into the showroom and has a good look around and makes the choice, that person is going to have that new appliance delivered to his or her home by McIver people, unlike what will happen if you purchase that appliance from pretty much any other vendor in the province. They're going to send a bunch of guys who do some contract work for them out to, well, put it together in your house. And there's a big difference in even the way the appliance arrives in your home.
Of course. And it's just done on the cheap. For instance, the products are taken off the back of the truck and they're uncrated.
Right.
Okay, so if you got four appliances that are coming and 2 are damaged, the 2 that are okay get delivered. They're not installed. They're not untaped. They're dropped. And in some cases, if you've paid for the other ones to be taken away, they're taken away.
Right.
But the ones that are damaged go back. Go back to the warehouse.
To the manufacturer?
No, they go back to the warehouse to start with. And then they load another couple on the truck. And if they're damaged when they get there, it's really a time-wasting situation.
Well, if you're the consumer, for example, and there's the truck. Hey, it's here. The new fridge is here. Yeah. And then you get out. You run out to the driveway. Hi, guys. I'm the homeowner, and I've got it. And they open the container, and it's got some scratches or some dents.
That's right.
They're going to put that thing back on the truck.
Or they're going to negotiate. They're going to negotiate with the people regarding accepting it.
Oh, right.
With the scratches.
Are you okay as is?
Yeah, and then maybe get a discount for that. But basically, I think the thing is that the techniques for delivering to retail customers are not nearly as good as ours, because when we deliver to retail customers, everything is done properly. We look after the venting, the washers, the dryers get hooked up, leveled, the fridges get hooked up, leveled. We tell the customer about their fridges if they need, excuse me, if they need to vacuum under the fridge once a year.
Right. I remember that.
We
tip
advise
earlier.
them about that. The other people don't get that, and they may not see it in their instructions. So a lot of it doesn't get done. But also, if there's any little things wrong, we're able to identify them and either fix them or we can come back and do something about it.
Right.
Because we do all our own warranty. So those are the points. We do our own warranty. We do our own deliveries. We do our own installations. We don't do major installations, but we can change taps if necessary, or if they're leaking. We can, change. We can move, put box and receptacles in for ranges with the plugs on and things like that. So these are things that we've always done. And I know I did have some contractors work for me, and I was always arguing with them about the standards of the way we were doing things.
Right. If you're looking for the most experienced and knowledgeable appliance guy in our city, look no further than the man across the desk from me right now. He is Jack McIver. His store is McIver's Appliances. It is at 610 Southeast Marine Drive, and they're online too. Have a good look at their website, which is McIvers.biz, while we take this quick time out on Boomer Life.
Canada's only weekly radio show dedicated to the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life
on AM 650.